I recently had a client where she had a substance abuse problem. She came in to see me. She sat down and she spun a yarn. She spun quite a few yarns and she was in complete denial. And finally, when she was done talking, I went and secured the DCF file. In a very meaningful way, I sat down and went through the entire DCF file. DCF had no axe to grind against her. DCF wants to do the right thing. The question becomes, you as the client, are you going to do the right thing and give DCF proof, evidence, documents that show, and witnesses that can speak on your behalf, that you're sober, that you're clean? And why is that so important? As a sober parent, you can successfully parent more likely than not. The other half of that equation, which is often lost, is that children deserve sober, clean parents from both drugs and or alcohol. Children deserve that. Make no mistake about that. And so when a parent comes in, which this parent did, and spoke to me, we sat down, we designed a plan. When you fail the plan, you plan to fail. We designated a certain day to go and see the DCF social worker. We designated a certain day to go do AA and NA meetings. We designated a day during the week that she could visit with a child that worked best for her schedule as the parent who also worked full time. We made all these different plans up. And this mother continued to do very, very, very well. And towards the end of the case, filed a motion to dismiss the case and talked to DCF about please joining me in such a motion. Which as we went to court, I thought it was going to be an extremely happy day. And much to my chagrin, the DCF worker and the DCF attorney grabbed me and says, Kevin, all bets are off. I'm sorry. I said, what do you mean? They said, your client had a dirty errand that we just came up with. And now, this DCF attorney was a very honorable person who I had dealt with for years. And she just said, I'm sorry, Kevin, but we can't dismiss the case and we can't support the dismissal today. And we're willing to still work with your client, and I thanked her for that. But she's got some work to do. And so I went sidebar with the judge. And I told the judge that the DCF attorney who I've worked with for many years is a very honorable person. I have no reason to dispersuade or say that DCF is not telling the truth, which they were. And that it's time for me to circle the wagons and double and triple and quadruple my efforts to show that my client can and should be a sober parent, a favorite parent for a child. And I thank DCF for their kindness. And I said, Your Honor, there will be no trial today because I can't succeed in proving that my client is currently fit as a parent when I've got a dirty urine screen in front of me. So we circled the wagons, went back and put mother back on the program of the AA slips and having a sponsor, having her in therapy and family therapy and working through all the issues that had confronted her, the demons. After a period of time, went back to the judge and DCF and asked them to dismiss the case, which eventually, much to DCF's credit, they agreed to do such, and so did the judge. But the moral of today's story is the following. You can be the best lawyer in the world, but if your client uses and isn't sober, there's nothing you can do as an attorney. And many times clients will tell you that they're sober and clean for well knowing that they're not. And you go to court expecting to succeed, and success turns into failure because your client doesn't tell you the truth. Doesn't tell you that it's a dirty urine, which the client should tell you, but they don't. And they think they're going to get away with it, and then they're in denial, again, which is not a river in Egypt. But yet that's part of sobriety is also relapse. And you got to understand that drugs and alcohol is a disease. It's just a horrible disease, which unfortunately is part and parcel with many DCF cases that I come in contact with. And I don't judge my clients, I advocate for them. And I tell every client that has a substance abuse problem, there, for the grace of God, go I, because I don't have that problem. And I knock on wood every day when I meet someone that has such a problem. And I look skyward and I say, why me, God? Why am I sober or clean? And how can I do better? How can I help this nice client get to where they need to go? Because they want to get there. DCF wants them to get there. The judge wants you to get there if you're in court. Everyone at DCF wants to see you succeed and not fail. And I've had clients say, oh, that's not true. Absolutely it is. At least the people that I meet, I put it right on DCF. How do we help this client improve? How do we help this client do better? How do we all get on the same page, which is truly in the child's best interest, so that everybody succeeds, including the parent? And sometimes it doesn't happen. But most times, if the client really wants it, there is nothing that can stop you. If you're a client, you got a substance abuse or an alcohol problem of any kind or drugs, just ask yourself, how bad do I want this? How bad do I want my children? How important are my children to me? How can I lick this problem, this monkey on my back? The best way to do that is to set up a plan every single day of your life so that you get up and you follow that plan. Simple, easy, user-friendly plan. So you have a direction. So you know where you're navigating. You know where you want to end up at the end of the day, which is when you wake up, you're sober, you go to bed sober. And another day, and another day, and another day. And you keep clicking off the days until you got weeks and months and, God willing, years of sobriety. If you got a substance abuse problem, I wish you nothing but blue skies. And I wish you the strength to change. Do not bemoan your fate. Change it. Make the reality that you want to see happen in your life. Don't put limits on yourself. You can do it. Many a client has and got their children back successfully. I wish you all the best and Godspeed to your recovery.